All right, we're going to get started with our Module 4, the textbook project. All right, so I'm just going to click Start and download my files. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to copy my expected file name, go to my downloads, and here is the document I'm starting with. So I'll open that up, click Enable Editing, and I'm going to click File, Save As, browse to my document formatting folder, and I am going to paste my new file name and click Save. All right, I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we are going to start with continuous section breaks. And I'm going to click on the View tab, multiple pages. So we can see there's 2 pages. It's like a report style. We're going to make it look more like a newsletter. All right, so I'll zoom in again. And we're going to click at the beginning of the 3rd paragraph with that starts with happy birthday. So I'll click here, happy birthday. I'm going to click on the layout tab. And in our page setup group, I'm going to click breaks. And I'm going to click continuous. And I'm just actually going to turn on my paragraph show hide so you can see the continuous break by the paragraph mark, the formatting marks right here. And next, we're going to scroll down to page 2 and we'll click at the beginning of the shaded paragraph classics in audio form. So put my insertion there before the C. And we're going to put in another continuous section break. So layout, breaks, and continuous. All right, and then we're going to click at the beginning of the next paragraph, which contains the text Animal Farm. So we'll put the insertion point here and click layout, breaks, and continuous. So here we can see our section breaks. At the bottom on the status bar, I can see that I have 4 sections total. So let's click Control Home to go to the beginning of our document. And in the page setup group here, we're going to click the margins button and we're going to click custom margins. This will open up our page setup window. And we're going to click, we're going to change the left and right margins to 0.75. So left 0.75 and right 0.75. So 0.75 for left and right, and then we're going to click OK. So that blue band has expanded some. And we're going to click anywhere in the happy birthday paragraph. And in the page setup group, we're going to click our margins and click custom. And because we're in a different section, you'll see the left and right now is at the default, which is 1 inch. And we're going to change the left to 2.5. And we're going to click OK. So you see that whole part moves over to the right. Let's scroll down to page 2. We're going to click in the shaded heading Classics in Audio Form. And we're going to change our margins again. So come up to Page Setup, Margins, Custom Margins, and then we're going to change the left and right margin to 0.75. 0.75, and the left and right 0.75. So left and right 0.75, and we'll click OK. And then let's click on our View tab, multiple pages in our Zoom group, and we'll be able to see what our changes look like. All right, let's click anywhere in the list of audiobooks at the end. So just click anywhere over here. Let's click on our Layout tab. And in the Page Setup group, we're going to click Columns. Click More Columns. And then we're going to click 3. And then we'll click OK. So we have 3 columns. The text is just in 2, but we have those 3 columns there. And then let's zoom in so we can see our pages better. And let's be sure that our Layout tab is selected. We're going to click at the beginning of the first audiobook, Animal Farm. We're going to press and hold our Shift key, and we're going to click at the end of the last audiobook. So our insertion point is before the A in Animal Farm. I'm going to hold my Shift key, and then I'm going to click after the E in Brunt. All right, and then so that's all selected. In our paragraph group, we're going to open up the paragraph settings, the launcher there, and in the indentation section, so right here, we're going to click the special arrow. We're going to click hanging, and we're going to change the setting to 0.2. So just use you can either type it in or just use your arrow keys to 0.2 and click OK. So that puts in, it indents if the title is longer and goes to the next line, it indents that second line. All right, next we are going to insert symbols and special characters. Okay, so let's use our navigation pane. So we can hit Control F, or we can go to Home and Find. So in our navigation pane, we're going to type the Listening to Literature collection. And then we can close our navigation pane. We're going to click at the end of the word collection. Oh, let's try that again because okay, so we'll click at the end of the word collection, and we're going to put our insertion point between the end and the period. So right between the end and the period, and then you can close your navigation pane. All right, and then we're going to type your bracket, so shift 9, and then R, and then shift 0, which is the other bracket. And you'll notice that it changes to the trademark symbol, like the registered, like the R symbol, registered trademark. All right, now let's go to File, and we're going to click Options down here at the bottom. And we're going to click proofing on the left. And then we're going to click autocorrect options. So you can see at the bottom here, so we have the C, the bracket C, bracket for copyright. We have the E, R, the TM, trademark, and there's some other ones there too. And so these are, when you type, it will automatically change and update with these symbols. All right, let's click cancel. Cancel again. And then we're going to click on our Insert tab. And then over on the far right, we're going to click on Symbol and then More Symbols. So this opens up our symbol window. We're going to click the Special Characters tab. And then you can also see some other characters that have the shortcut keys. So we could also do the registered one by pressing Alt-Control-R. All right, so let's click cancel. All right, next we're going to work with objects. So let's scroll to the top of page 1 and click anywhere in the Happy Birthday heading. We're going to change our zoom to multiple pages. So view, multiple pages. Then we're going to click on our Insert tab. And then in our text group, so over here on the right, we're going to click the text box button. And we're going to choose Ion Sidebar 1. So scroll down a bit. Ion Sidebar 1. So that's this one here. That will get inserted into the left of our first page. And then on our ribbon, we now have a Shape Format tab. And in the size group, so right over here on the far right, size group Shape Height, we're going to type 4.3. And then in the width, we're going to type 1.5. And just press Enter. And then let's zoom in a bit. We can see that up closer. All right, in the Arrange group, over here, we are going to click the Align button. And we're going to click Use Alignment Guides. So mine are on, so I have it checked. So if the check mark doesn't show, just click it. So you see that mine's not clicked now, so I'm going to just click it. So be sure that it shows a check mark. And then you can just click outside. So then let's click on our, if we hover over, you'll see that my pointer changes to the 4 arrows. We're going to click the text box border to select our text box. And we're going to press and hold our mouse button, and we're going to drag the text box down so that the top of the textbook aligns with the first line of text below Happy Birthday. So it's about here. And the left edge should align with the left edge of the blue shaded heading. So about like that. So, and then when I do this, I moved it over just a touch more, and you'll see that green line that goes down. All right. Okay. All right, next we are going to, let's zoom out a little bit. And we're going to click on our layout options. So if you click on your sidebar, you may see a little layout options icon. If not, what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to click wrap text. And this is in our arrange group, arrange text. And we're going to click in front of text. In front of text. And then we're going to click wrap text again. And just be sure that it has fixed position on page, that has a check mark to it. So if it doesn't, just click that. And then just click anywhere. All right, we're going to zoom in again. And then we're going to click in the sidebar title and we're going to type operating hours. And then let's click the text below and press delete. Then let's click on our insert tab. In the text group over here on the right, we're going to click the object arrow and we're going to click text from file. We're going to go to our downloads where we would have downloaded all our files when we opened up our textbook project in MindTap. And we're going to click the support WD 4 hours. We're going to click insert. So that takes the text from that Word document and inserts it into this text box here. And then just press your backspace key to get rid of that extra paragraph line. So now our insertion point is at the end of newsletter. All right, let's click our Home tab. In our font group, we're going to click our font size arrow and we're going to click 11. So you can click in it just to ensure it doesn't look like that changed. So what we can do is click it again, click 11, and then we can verify. There, it worked that time. Sometimes it just takes another try. All right, just click anywhere outside the text box to deselect it. Be sure to save. All right, next we are going to scroll down to see the bottom part of page 1. And we're going to click on our Insert tab and we're going to click Shapes. This is in our Illustrations group. Shapes. And in the basic shapes right here, we're going to, if you hover over, you can see the info that comes up with what it is. So we have lots of different options here. And we're going to choose the first one, the text box. So it has that blue A. And once I select it and I hover over my document, it now changes to what looks like a plus sign. And we're going to position it in the blank area in the left margin at about the 6-inch mark. So over here in my ruler, you see there's a 6. So right about there in the 6-inch mark. And we're going to click and drag it down to draw a textbook about 1.5 inches wide and 2.5 inches tall. And you can just use your best your best guesstimate. All right. And then over in our shape, our shape format in our size, now we can make sure that it's the exact size. So I actually had 2.51, which is pretty close. I'm just going to change it to 2.5 to make it exact. And then the width, I'm going to change mine to 1.5. All right. And then we're going to drag our text box as necessary to align it with the bottom border of the last line of text on that page and the left edge of the text box to align with what's above. I'm just hoping that that green, I'm going to scroll out just a bit. I don't see my green line. All right, I'm going to move it over to the right, I guess. That appears to be right. I don't see that green, oh, there we go. Now I see it. I was way over too much to the left. So there we go. Now it's aligned. Perfect. All right. We're going to select the third sentence after the getting around town heading. So the sentence begins with the complete schedule is not final yet. So we'll click and drag to select that sentence. And I just want to make sure I get the period. We're going to press Control V. Sorry. We're going to press, I clicked undo there. Control C, Control C. And then in the blank text box, now we're going to press Control V to paste it. All right. So we have our shape format tab. Let's click on our shape format tab. And we're actually going to also add in quotation marks before the, and then after, at the end of the sentence, after long, we're going to add in quotation marks. And all right, let's click over in our arrange group. We'll click align. Align in the one step ahead. With our text box selected in our text group, click align text, and we're going to click middle. All right, and then in our shape styles group, so that's over here, we're going to click the more button to show more styles. And we're going to choose the colored fill blue accent 5. So it's a dark blue, second from right in the second row. So if I hover over it, I'll see colored blue accent, color fill blue accent 5. So I'll click that. So that fills it in with blue. And then let's click on, in our arrange group, wrap text, and click fix position on page. All right. And then we can just click anywhere to deselect it. All right, let's scroll down to the top of page 2 and click the first line in page 2. On the ribbon, let's click on our Insert tab. And in our text group, let's click Text Box. And we're going to find Ion Sidebar 1 and click that. And then let's click on our text box. And we're going to click our layout options. You see the icon there. Let's click layout options. Click in front of text. So we'll just hover over each one to see. So this one is in front of text. And then let's click on, be sure that fixed position on page is selected. And then let's click and drag our sidebar over to the left. So we want it to align with the blue shaded below, and the top is aligned with the sentence. All right. Let's change our height and width of our text box. So over in our size group, we'll change the height to 3.5. And then let's change our width to 1.5. All right. And then we may need to click and drag and move it over to the left a little bit more. About like that. All right, in the title, where it says sidebar title, let's type Book Festival Reminder. And then in the main part of our text box, we'll click on it and press delete. And then let's click on our ribbon on the Insert tab. And then we'll come over to Object and click Text from File. And now we'll go to our downloads and we will choose the file Support WD4 Festival. Click Insert. We'll backspace so we get rid of that extra paragraph at the bottom. And then let's just ensure that we select our text box, and we're going to change the font to 11. And then just click anywhere to deselect it. All right, and then be sure to save. All right, let's scroll up to page 1 and just click anywhere in the paragraph below the Happy Birthday heading. So anywhere in that paragraph, we're going to click on our Insert tab, and we're going to add a drop cap. So that's over here in our text group. We're going to click Drop Cap, and we're going to choose Dropped. And so you'll notice when I do that, it makes the first letter of that paragraph quite large. All right. And we actually want to be able to change the settings so that the lines to drop are customized. So let's actually undo that. Let's come back to our drop cap, and we're going to click Drop Cap Options. We're going to click Dropped, and the lines to drop, we're going to hit the down button, and we're just going to choose 2. And then click OK. So now you'll see that it's a little bit smaller. Okay. Now let's do a similar one to under the paragraph of Fond Farewell. So we're not going to do it to getting around town because we're going to eventually add a graphic there. So under a font farewell, just click anywhere in that paragraph. And then drop cap options, dropped, and then lines to drop to. And then we'll do the same for in the paragraph under heard any good books lately. So click on that paragraph, drop cap options, dropped, and to. Click OK. All right, and then just click anywhere to deselect it. And then be sure to save. All right. Let's scroll up to our first page. And we are going to select the entire paragraph containing the Metropolitan Library System. So that first line, I'm going to select that first line, including the paragraph mark. Let's click on our Home tab. And in our font group, we're going to click on Clear All Formatting. So that's with what looks like a purple eraser. So that just removes all of the formatting that was applied. So putting it in the center, having a larger font, and it just takes it back to like the default. So with it still selected, click on Insert. And in our text group, we're going to click on Insert Word Art. I like the Word Art button. And if you hover over different ones, you'll be able to see what they're called. We're going to choose the Fill Blue Accent Color 1 Shadow. So this one here. And so then you'll see that it updates our text. We also now have our Shape Format tab active. In the Arrange group over here, let's click the Wrap Text button. And we're going to click Top and Bottom. And then let's click Wrap Text again and click Fix Position on Page. And then once we do that, let's just click and drag up our paragraph so that it's at the top again. All right, and then let's save. All right, with it still selected, let's change our width of our text box to 7 inches. So over here in our size group in the width, we'll change to 7. And then in our Word Art Styles group, so that's here in the center, we're going to click the Text Effects button. So that's the bottom blue A. And we're going to point to Transform. And we're going to click the chevron up. So that is, I believe it's this one. Yes, chevron up. And then in our Word Art Styles group, click the Text Fill arrow. So that's this, and that's the text outline, but the top one, Text Fill. So click on that arrow. And we're going to click on Blue Accent 1, darker 25%. So the one that's not the bottom, but the one above the bottom. Blue Accent 1, darker 25%. And then let's click on our text effects. and we're going to point to shadow, and we're going to choose in the outer section, offset bottom right. So that's that first one, offset bottom right. And then just click anywhere to deselect it. Yeah, I'm going to move mine over to align with the shaded paragraph below. There, that looks better. All right. On page 1, let's click at the end of the first paragraph below the happy birthday heading. So we want the insertion point between at the end of lemonade and the paragraph mark. So after the period, just scroll in a bit. So after the period, after lemonade and the paragraph mark. And then let's click on our insert tab. And in the illustrations group, you're going to click pictures. Click this device. And then we'll scroll to where our downloads are. And we're going to click the support WD-4 cupcakes and click insert. I have this large image of 3 cupcakes. In the accessibility group, let's click, so that's this accessibility group here. Let's click alt text, and we're going to delete the text that's there, and we're going to type 3 cupcakes with candles. And then you can just close your alt text pane. In our size group, it's over here on the right, let's click our crop arrow and point to crop shape. And if you hover over some different shapes, like there's a lightning, there is sun, there's moon, lots of different shapes that we can choose to crop. But this time, let's just, so those are some options, but let's just click the crop button. And you'll see that we now have some darker lines that are our sizing handles around our picture. We're going to position our pointer right over the middle sizing handle on the right. And so our pointer should change to like a sideways T. We're going to press and we're going to drag our pointer slightly left. And we're going to click and drag it till it's about on the 4-inch mark on our ruler. And then we're going to drag the middle sizing handle on the right. Sorry, on the left. We're going to drag it right till it aligns with about the 1.5 inch on our ruler. And so we can use our crop function to be able to like click and drag. But there's also a better way that instead of kind of guessing the crop based on the arrow or on the ruler, we can set it to a certain position for the crop. So let's come up to our adjust group on our picture format tab, and we're going to click a reset picture, and we're going to click reset picture and size to take it back to our original. In the size group, let's click the crop arrow and point to aspect ratio. And then under square, we're going to click the 1:1. And so that just makes it more uniform. And then just click anywhere outside the picture. All right. So let's click our picture again. We're not quite finished with it. Let's click on our picture format tab. In the arrange group, we're going to click position, and we're going to click the position in middle right with square text wrapping. So we're going to click on that. And then in the picture styles group, we're going to click the simple frame white. So that's the first one. And then our final step, we're going to resize our picture. So in our size group over here on the right, in the shape height, we're going to click 1.3 and press enter. And then because we changed the aspect ratio, the width also changes automatically. So we can just click anywhere to deselect it. So now our cupcake picture fits in much more nicely. All right, let's go down a little bit to the bottom of page 1. And we're going to click at the end of the paragraph below, getting around town, so that our insertion point is between the end of early April and the paragraph mark. So at the very end of the paragraph. So our insertion point is between the period and the paragraph mark. And then let's come up to our View tab and click Multiple Pages. And then on our ribbon, we're going to click our Insert tab, click Pictures, this device. We're going to scroll to our downloads, and we're going to choose Support WD4 Bookmobile and click Insert. So then we have this image of this bookmobile. It's facing up. It's not really positioned properly, but we're going to fix that. All right. Let's change first our alt text. So click on alt text in your accessibility group, and we'll delete that text, and you can just type bookmobile, BOOKMOBILE, and then just close that. In your arrange group, you're going to click the wrap text button, and you're going to click tight. And you'll see that it goes to the top of page 1. Let's just drag it down to the bottom of page 1, and we'll position it so that the Getting Around Town heading wraps above the picture, and the text below the heading wraps to the right of the picture. So just about like that. And you'll see the anchor is partially hidden. Let's click on our layout option, so a little icon there, and we'll click Fixed Position on Page. And then you can just close your layout options. And then let's zoom in some so we can see our picture better. Let's click our bookmobile picture. And you'll see, if I look just right above my sizing handles, the top middle, you'll see this rotation button. If I click, I can just drag it down to the right, and then that will position it properly. You see it is overlapping the blue text box, so we'll just drag it over to the right. All right. Let's save. Let's come up to our picture format tab in the adjust group. So that's over here to the left. We're going to click on our corrections button. And we can see that there's some options for sharpening and contrasting. There's also some options for brightening and contrasting our image. Let's just click to move out of that. You can also adjust color, so the color saturation, color tone, recolor, and you can see if I hover over it, will give the different options. We'll click anywhere out of that to deselect that. So same with artistic effects, there's some options there. We are going to, there's also compress pictures and so on. All right, what we're going to do though is we're going to remove some of the picture's background. So with it selected, I'm just going to zoom in quite a bit more to 180. And then in our adjust group, over to the far left, we're going to click remove background. So then that background is kind of highlighted in purple. And then we have this new background removal tab. We have mark areas to keep, mark areas to remove. And we're going to click mark areas to keep. And we're going to just move our drawing, a little pencil, over the bookmobile and like over any of the purple areas that we want to keep. So we want to keep kind of the main outline of our bookmobile. So I have the left part, and I'm just going to click and drag a bit so we get that right part as well. There we go. So that looks good. I'm not going to worry so much about this piece back here. All right, so that looks good. And then let's come up and click. So once it's kind of how you think that you want it. Oh, I'm just going to click that part. Now, sometimes you'll see if you made a bit of a mistake, you'll see some green there. I'm just going to click undo for that part. I'm going to click mark areas to keep. I'm going to try that again to see if I can just get that little part. I'll click undo again. I might just leave it because otherwise I don't want that green kind of part to show up. So it looks good. We'll keep the changes. Click that. You'll see the main part of the bookmobile is selected and the background is removed. All right. And then we can just click, drag it over some, so the left edge of the actual bookmobile is aligned with the left part of the text. And we don't want to cover up any of our words. So just kind of click and drag it around so that you're not covering anything. All right, and then once that looks good, that you can just click outside of it. All right, let's go back to our zoom to 120. And then let's go down to page 2. And just in the middle of the page, we're going to insert an icon in this area here. So let's click at the end of the paragraph of the heading, below the heading, heard any good books. So right after where it says listed below. So we'll put our insertion point there. And then on the ribbon, we're going to click our Insert tab. In our Illustrations group, we're going to click Icons. And so there's different groups of icons here. Ours is in the Technology and Electronics. And we're looking for the headphone option. So just scroll down a bit, and maybe I don't need to scroll down. Oh, here it is right here. So this one, we're going to choose this one. So we click it, click Insert. So I have this little headphone option. In our Arrange group here, we're going to click the wrap text, and we're going to click in front of text. And then we're going to click wrap text again and click fix position on page. And then we're going to drag it just to the left to center it as best as we can in that white space below the text box and above the blue shaded paragraph. All right, now we have a graphics format tab that opens up, and we're going to click the More button in our graphic styles group. So that's right here. And we're going to choose the Colored Fill Accent 5 Dark 1 outline. So Colored Fill Accent 5, so that's the blue, and so dark 1 outline. So I believe it's this one. Yes, so this one here. Let's click on our graphics effects. So this option here. Let's point to glow. And we're going to point to glow 8-point orange accent color 2. So this option here. And then in our size group, so over here on the right, we're going to change our height to 1.5. And then our width will also change. And then we'll just click and drag it again, just so that it's centered properly in that white space. All right, so you can just click out of that. All right, next we're going to balance our columns. So let's press Control End to go to the end of our document. And let's insert a continuous section break. So we'll click our Layout tab, Breaks, and Continuous. And you notice that now our columns are more balanced. And then let's click on our View tab, Multiple Pages. So our newsletter certainly looks much more eye-catching. Let's click on our Design tab, and let's click our Colors option over here on the right. And we're going to click Green. So just down here, we'll click Green. And then over here on the far right for page background, let's click Page Borders. In our Settings section, let's click Box. And then let's click our color arrow, and we're going to click Green Accent 1. And we'll click OK. So that applies a nice border to our document. And let's just compare our document. So you can compare this with the visual overview in our text or in our ebook. So I'm just going to look at mine just to see if it looks right, and just checking my graphics, headings. And it looks to be right. All right, so just click and save. And there is one more part. I won't go through it, but there is one more part in your eText about just converting and saving a document, not converting, but saving it as a PDF. So you can look at that too. All right, that's it for textbook project for Word Module 4.